it's just really weird how there's like no one here.
That's like really spooky. It's like a haunted school or something.
Right?
Ew! Oh sh! So a complex number is a number that can be expressed as a plus bi. A and b are real numbers, and I is the imaginary unit. So I here equals square root of -1, and I squared equals -1. So each time you see I squared, that is automatically -1. That turns the I squared turns into a -1. So if it's a 6I squared, that'll turn into a -6. Okay. So you can use I for a square root number like we have here. So we have square root -16. And obviously this is the square root, so we're going to break it down. So you have square root 16. And then obviously if it's the square root 16 times the square root of -1, that will give you -16. So you're breaking it down right now. And you break each of these down. So obviously 16, 4 times 4 equals 16. So you bring, since it's these two, then the 4, they could just be 1 4. They don't have to be any other sort of number. And for the -1, it could be an I. So then the I goes down too. Now you don't need any of the square root stuff because that is over and finished with because we just broke it down.
Because it's a perfect square.
Because it is a perfect square! Your answer is 4I.
Okay, so first we're going to show you an addition problem and a division problem using imaginary numbers. So for our first problem, we have 8 plus 16i plus 18 minus 6i. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the parentheses out and you're going to combine the like terms. Add 8 plus 18 and 16i plus minus 6i, and you get 26 plus 10i. Yay! So for our second problem, it's going to be a division problem, and the problem is 12 minus 6i divided by 6 plus 4i. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to put 12 minus 6i over 6 plus 4i, and you're going to multiply by the complex conjugate, which is 6 minus 4i, and since it's 6 plus 4i, it's always going to change the sign. It's going to be the opposite sign. So you basically are going to double distribute the top and the bottom of each other, and you're left with 72 minus 4i minus 36i plus 24i squared over 36 minus 24i plus 24i minus 16i squared. And so you can cancel these two out because they all automatically cancel each other out. And so you're left with 72 minus 84i minus 24 over 36 plus 16. And that reduces down to 48 over 52 minus 82 over 52i. And finally, it reduces all the way down to 12 over 13 minus 41 over 26i.
It's so windy!
Oh, that was so stressful!
Okay, in this problem I'm going to be showing you how to solve for a system of a nonlinear equation. Okay, so basically we have our two formulas, or not our formulas, but our two equations, which is 2x minus 3 equals y plus 5x squared, and then we know that our y is -3x minus 3. We plug in the variable for y, so we end up with 2x minus 3 equals -3x minus 3 plus 5x squared. And so we can just take the parentheses out, and our goal is to have the equation equal to 0. And so we start off by subtracting 2x from both sides, and then we're left with -3 equals -5x minus 3 plus 5x squared. And then next we add 3 to both sides to cancel out this 3, and we get 0 equals -5x plus 5x squared. And so these represent our variables. So a equals 5, b equals -5, and c equals 0. And so for the rest of this problem, we need to use the quadratic formula, which is x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And so just plug the variables in, and so you get x equals a negative sign, -5 plus or minus the square root of -5 squared minus 4 times 5 and then times 0 all over 2 times 5. And then you can reduce that to x equals 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 0 over 10. And then because it's plus or minus, you have two formulas. So then you have x equals 5 plus 5, because the square root of 25 reduces to 5.
Right.
And so we have x equals 5 plus 5 over 10, and then x equals 5 minus 5 over 10. And so once you do the work, your answers for x are 1 and 0. And then so basically you want to find the points. Okay, and so we move down here after knowing our x's, and so we know that y equals this formula, but because we have the f of x also equals y, and then we know that x is equal to 1, so we can make it f of 1, and then plug 1 into x, so then you get f of 1 equals -3 times 1 minus 3, and then you do your work and you figure out that f of 1, also known as y, is equal to -6, and so your first coordinate your first pair is 1, -6. So you would do the exact same thing for the second pair, and so you would do f of 0 minus 3, -3 times 0 minus 3, and then you would do the work and you would get -3 as your final answer, so your pair would be 0, -3. So first, to find the lengths, you're going to have to input the y into the equation. So you get x squared plus x plus 3 squared equals 1600. And then you break that apart, so because x plus 3 squared is just basically two of them. So you get x squared plus x plus 3 times x plus 3 equals 1600. And then you add all the values together, so you get x squared plus x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 1600, and then to make it equal to 0, you would have to subtract 1600 from both sides, and so then you do all your math and you get 2x squared plus 6x equals -1591, and then you need to use the quadratic formula and input your values, because a is 2, b is 6, and c is -1591, and then so you get x equals -6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 2 times 1591 over 2 times 2. So that reduces to x equals -6 plus or minus the square root of 36 plus 12,728, and then over 4. And then you simplify your work and you get x equals -6 plus or minus 112.98 over 4. And so with that, you do your x, you do your plus and minus, so you would get x equals -6 plus 112.98 over 26.98 over 4, and that goes down to x equals 106.98 over 4, and then your first x is 26.745, and you would do the same thing except subtracting, so you get x equals -6 minus 112.98 over 4, and then you do your work and it comes out to x equals -29.745, and so these are answers, and so we know that from the mile 26.745 to mile -29.745, you are in range of the cell phone tower.
Okay, hi Mr. Soohoo. So my thoughts on the life lesson were that it really kind of puts your life into perspective and makes you appreciate appreciate everything that you have, because
Like a toilet.
yeah.
I like toilets.
Yeah, like a toilet.
I use that
and
every day.
Some toilet paper. Yeah.
Wow.
and my arms and legs that work makes me appreciate that and makes my problem seem not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you.
Did you get that?
Thank you, Mr. Soohoo, just for teaching us this unit, like complex imaginary numbers. I thought it was really helpful. But on to the life lesson that we had. I think it was really informative, and I thought it was like really interesting seeing other people's problems and how they like overcome them, because like we live in like a first world country, and like if our phone doesn't work, we like think the world is ending. But it's good to like have a different perspective, a different view on the world. And so yeah, I think I'll have a better perspective on things now.
I wasn't there, but I think you should be ready for what life gives you each and every single second, because you don't know what's going to happen. So you should be ready as you'll ever be.
Oh, Steve, Gavin.
What do you? Why? Finally. Give me a lot of- These are
You look like an actual zombie.
So Gavin, I'm gonna fucking rip your head off.
Why? What am I? I'm a booty
So-
hole.
Gavin!
Appreciate it.